Hi, it's Jackye Mumphrey, the real estate maven. I'm a realtor that sells real estate in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And I wanted to show you today how real estate agents use Supra Lockboxes as well as Supra Keys to show property to people who are looking to buy homes. So first things first though, Supra Lockboxes are only for the use for professional real estate agents or appraisers or inspectors who have permission through their MLS and a sponsored broker to have access to use a lockbox. So as you can tell, it does have some weight to it, but as you can tell, it's a pretty solid box here. This is where you keep the key here. There are no buttons. There are no numbers to push or anything on there. So it's what's called an electronic lockbox, and you have to have an electronic key that's assigned to you, or have one assigned to you through your phone in order to be able to use this. So you have to be with a realtor or an inspector or an appraiser that's sponsored by a broker to use this. So I want to show you guys how this is used. Now, this you will see is typically on a doorknob, or sometimes it could be on a fence under a porch stoop. Sometimes they put them on behind potted plants to kind of keep them from the public eye. But each one of these are assigned to a brokerage and a licensed agent. Sometimes the brokerage will provide them for the agents. Sometimes the agents by themselves. So in my case, I buy all my own lock boxes. So I own all of these lock boxes outright, and they're all assigned to me, as well as a lockbox key. Some of the agents have, I'm a little bit old school. I've been selling real estate for a very long time, and I'm used to having a separate key. I just find it to be, for me, just something that I prefer to have. I've always had it this way. But this is what it looks like. You know, you go in here and you press your key. You can go in here and open up the shackle, which this is the shackle here that allows you to put it on the door. It has like a little flashlight, so I can use that if it's a little bit early in the morning or at dusk. It helps to be able to see the lockbox. And then some of the agents have the app on their phone. And like I said, I chose to have mine separate, but some agents do have it on their phone. So I want to show you guys how the real estate agent will access the lockbox. So it'll be on the door, and it's usually facing you as an agent. You'll see there's like a little connection here, like there's a little dot here. And so what the agent wants to do is they're going to open up the lockbox app, and you put in your code. And then you want to go ahead and press underneath here, like so, and that helps to activate the lockbox there so that the lockbox key can read the lockbox. And so you're going to point it as so, like this, and they're going to read each other. So if I was someone who was visiting a home to go and show it, and this was my lockbox key, I would get an indicator that the agent has access to lockbox, and for whatever reason, it's not wanting to work, because that's just how Murphy's Law is. So let's try this again. So what's going to do is going to drop the key. There it is. It's communicating. And it's now going to allow me to get the key. So I press in here and it drops the key out. Again, this is only for something that a real estate agent, an appraiser, or an inspector would have access to. And then this is going to hold the key. Sometimes there's a business card in here for the agent. Sometimes there are several keys. Sometimes they're just codes that are taped or adhered to the inside of the box, so the agent can read the code is to be able to answer open the door. So what will happen is that the agent will get an indicator like this, letting them know that it's been successful. And what's going to happen, usually in about 2 or 3 minutes, the agent or myself will get an indicator that someone has entered the property. And it could be set up to where it just comes to the agent or to the agent's assistant, whoever the assigned person is that watches the lock boxes. Access. It can also be sent to the seller, so the seller of the property can know that someone was in their property. And it usually happens within about 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes it'll depend on the mobile signal, because these all work off of the mobile towers. And so you'll get a little notification on your phone letting you know that someone came to the property, and it will give you an estimated amount of time in which they were in the property, because they usually have to walk past the lockbox to be able to secure it back into the cradle. And then normally the agent will get some type of notification that you left. It's kind of an estimate. So this here is the Supra iBox. Again, this is the electronic key that communicates with the box. So I can run a report now on this particular box, and I can tell who else has looked at the property because I own the box. So if I go in and I want to do a report, and I'll say read key box, and it'll say read, and I point it again. I put in what's called my SHACO code, which is identifies the box. And then I want to go ahead and see who's been to the property. It'll just read it. Same kind of way. It'll read it, and then it'll let me know, well, I guess I've had a lot of showings on this box, so it's taking a little longer than normal. And let me know if you guys have any specific questions. I don't use the combination lock boxes, the contractor lock boxes on my listings. I only use the Supra box. If there's a contractor box on it, it's because it's either the contractors who did the work or it's the seller's own box that they use to access. But I like controlled access to all of the listings I have on the market because it's important to me to know who's been in the properties. If not, then you kind of don't know. If something were to happen, you really want some type of timestamp to know who's going to be in and out of these properties. Kind of affects liability and responsibility if something were to go wrong. All right, so as you can tell on here, this lockbox has been out of service for a little while. It's been down in the garage, but this one here, I don't know if you can see how well that shows up, but you can see that I'm the last person that was in the property here, and then it has all of the other agents that were here, and I can kind of go down the list, and it'll tell me all the agents who have visited the lockbox. And I can run this report online, and it will give me all of their phone numbers, their email addresses, their brokerage names, their phone numbers, so I can keep track of who's in the property at what time. I can even tell how many times they try to enter the property. So that is just a quick little video on how real estate agents use Supra lockboxes. I hope it's been helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.